It's Blue Devil basketball, and it's live on WRMH. I'm Charles E. Richardson along with Jerome Chester. And the crowd you hear behind me is the crowd that is going to be welcoming in those Blue Devils in just a moment after coming from behind last night in a fantastic victory, 73-72, over the home Northeast Raiders. I had the opportunity to talk with Coach Ladner about last night's contest and tonight's contest, and he had this to say about the game. Before we start again, congratulations on a fine effort your young men had last night. That was a great basketball game.
Thank you, Charles. I've had a few on the road that I've enjoyed, but I think last night was one of the greatest, especially seeing a good group of young men that hadn't been away from home, and to have that kind of a game, it was just something that I can't explain, and just a great feeling.
Well, it had to be attributed to good coaching. They stuck to it. They never gave up. You had a disastrous third quarter, and they came back and really hustled. And I think it was the hustle and the stick-to-itiveness that they did that just brought them back.
We were so proud of them because we've said over and over, if you just don't give up, if you hang in there and if you keep working, that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about, that don't get negative. Just do your best. Even if you don't win by a score, be proud of what you do, and they did a super job last night.
Well, Coach, you didn't tell us something last night. I had to pry it out of one of the fans that came with you that you've got a few more than that one victory under your belt.
Well, I guess I've enjoyed having been in some good programs and enjoyed having just so many good kids to work with, and areas that it's just been great.
Well, over 1,000 wins, that is great.
Well, you know, I've enjoyed the wins, but when I look back and see, like I have several guys in our area coaching, and I'm hoping some of these young men that we have now will end up in the coaching field or some leadership role because they have that kind of talent.
Coach, looking at what your kids have to come in here and do tonight, you got Greene County. They had 2 good victories. They didn't have a bye. They've come all the way from the start of the tournament and played 2 good games, beating the team from Miami. What are they going to have to do tonight in order to beat that Greene County team?
We're going to definitely have to control the tempo. They're quicker than we are. They really crash the boards. They do a terrific job of coming from the blind side if they can turn you and trap you, and they've got such quickness that if you're not careful and they come from that blind side when they turn you and you make that wrong pass, they'll shoot a layup on the other end. And we have to penetrate and go to our basket. If people are going to press you and you can't take it to your basket, it becomes more successful for them. But if you're not careful and you take it to the basket every time, then you get into a tempo game that favors them. Mm-hmm. So we have to play a fine line of taking it in some but backing it out and getting 5 or 6 passes because, let's face it, they're quicker than we are, and they're a well-coached basketball team, and regardless of their record, they've been playing like us some fine basketball teams, and they're just a super ball club as far. They may not have the reputation that the Miami team has, but when I was sitting up there and the assistant coach says, Coach Riles says, which would you rather play? I said, with no hesitation, I'd rather play Miami. Mm-hmm. And he laughed, and he said, I can see why. He said, Greene County is quick, aren't you? I'd rather play the height than the quick.
Right. Well, you know, last night you had all kinds of disadvantages. They were quick, they were bigger than you were, and you still came out the victor.
I'll tell you what we were hoping for, and last night we got close to it. We were playing a super ball club, but we have 5 guys and 4 or 5 on the bench that can all handle the ball fair, and they're getting better, and they can run a good pattern in practice, but they get in the ball game and they get excited, and on the second or third pass or first pass, they say, well, I've got the good shot, and we're trying to get them as a team to turn it over, and because we have to take what talent and what we have and use wisely, because we run against a lot of teams that are bigger and quicker than we are, and unless we use what we have wisely, we get in trouble, and it's just that simple that we're hoping that by our state playoff time that if we can't outrun someone, that we can control the tempo some other way.
Coach, tell us a little bit about the story you just related to me. There was a gentleman that has driven a little bit of a way to be here in Macon with you.
Dennis DeVore, and I'm trying to think of 2 or 3 other guys that came up with him. They were someone woke them up last night, or at least told them it's on radio. And then he says the more they heard it, and when it was over, he called one of his friends and says, "Do you want to go to Macon?" And he says, immediately they left for Macon. So I've had this experience before. I've had people like used to be at the radio station down there, as I told you last night, B.J. Johnson and Darius Moeller, and these people had always helped me, and they were very nice over the years about getting people to sponsor the broadcast and support us. And I'm always remembering these people saying, "Gee, after hearing the game, I just had to go to the next ball game." So we're hoping when we get back to Carrier, Mississippi, that we can fill up the gymnasium. That's been one of our plans, to our home games, to bring all these people out, to let them take a good look at some fine young athletes that they have.
Well, I've seen a lot of basketball just like you have, and let me tell you, Career and everybody around there, if you miss the next basketball game, you're really missing something.
Listen, Charles, we're just so appreciative to you and the people here in Macon. I was a little worried, apprehensive, but Copeland, I'm a pretty good judge even on the phone. And Coach Copeland, when I talked with him on the phone, he was so nice, and he was prompt. He'd call you back and let you know, like even on the radio broadcast, and helping us with a line and getting us in contact with you. And I was really worried because I had never been here before. I'd been to Ocala, Florida, and Fort Walton, and Houston, Texas, and I knew these people. But I've never been to a place that's been more super than they have here in Macon. They have beautiful facilities here, and just I wish all our people could see the arrangements of this gymnasium and the facilities they have here. And the city's just been great to us. And I'm hearing from back home that you did a super job last night, and I'm hoping you'll help us fill up that gym when we get back to Carrier.
You might fill it up. I might have to come through there the next time and take in a few basketball games.
Great, and we'll be glad to have you down there. Again, I'd like to really tell our sponsors, you'd never know how much we appreciate helping us with this broadcast.
Well, I'd like to thank them too, and they've got a great basketball team that they're representing.
Thank you, Charles.
Coach Ladner about to enter the championship game here at the first annual Northeast Eastside Optimus Holiday Basketball Tournament. The girls' champion has just been decided. The Northeast Raider Girls, who is the host school for this tournament, lost to a crosstown rival, Southwest High School, by a score of 52-46. So Southwest is the girls' champion of this tournament, and the boys' champion will be decided in just, about 32 minutes. This is Blue Devil Basketball. We'll break for a 1-minute station identification and, of course, a word from our sponsors. A 1-minute break. This is Blue Devil Basketball on WRMH. And he had this to say about tonight's contest.